What is going on? Come on, crew. Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm always awesome as well because we get to dive back into this lab. We're talking another rookie that is making a lot of noise in training camp. His name is KeAndre Lambert-Smith, former Auburn product and Penn State product, now Los Angeles Charger, making a lot of noise. A lot of highlight reel grabs so far in training camp. We saw him play in the Hall of Fame game, and he did perform extremely well for the opportunities that he was given. He is a very interesting commodity because he was drafted, I believe, in that later stages of the NFL draft, but he's putting on a show, man. A lot of upside, a lot of, great speak from Coach Harbaugh. So when he's talking, I'm definitely listening. I had him scouted a long time ago, but I definitely had to go back and watch some more film on the man because he has made a lot of noise. So let's talk pros, cons, and a grade score on KeAndre Lambert-Smith, KLS, for these Los Angeles Chargers. Continuing with the push of this draft guide, you guys got to go get your copy today. It is cover1.net. Do not miss out on one of the best guides in the industry. I am not kidding y'all. You will have 300 plus player evaluations. You will know everybody in the league. And I'm telling y'all, that's exactly what you require to win your fantasy football championships because I got you covered. But we got KLS. He is a definite good one. I like his game. I think he has a lot of potential. There still is a lot of question marks, but it was great to highlight and go back to see how he did on film. And, he does translate very well, especially early on here in camp and the first preseason game. But let's talk about the team that drafted him, round 5, pick 22, those Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, they took a shot because they have a guy like Trey Harris, who they did select a lot earlier on. And I mean, Trey Harris was one of these guys that sat out early on due to contract negotiations, due to language. So he missed some time early on in rookie OTAs. And we got to see KLS absolutely take every snap that he got, and he ran with it and produced and performed admirably to above average, and to potentially being one of these guys that could carve out a bigger sizable role for himself on this offense, catching everything to come his way and showing extremely sound abilities that I will touch in the pros. But this offense under Coach Harbaugh, they are so exciting to see on paper as they are moving in the right direction. I absolutely love what they're doing on the offensive side. Got themselves an Omarion Hampton. Yes, okay, Najee Harris dealing with that eye injury, but it was always Omarion Hampton that's going to eventually take the lead in this offense. Yes, I understand that one run where he where he went outside in the Hall of Fame game where he should have cut it back in, could have been a touchdown. No, a lot of people are like, that was no good. He's going to learn, man. You got to crawl before you walk. But this wide receiver depth chart here in Los Angeles for these Chargers, we got Lad McConkey. He's a good lad, and he's going to pick up right where he left off from last season. I got no qualms about it. Quentin Johnston. I always, just stumble on that man's name. But again, he's making some plays. I'm not sold, man. He's a body catcher forever. We've seen the drops again throughout camp. This is why they drafted a guy like Trey Harris, who is one of my guys. Love me some Trey Harris from Ole Miss. I think he's going to be a stellar product in the NFL. He just got to get his football legs under him and understand this pro game. Sitting out the rookie OTAs definitely did not help him. He is a couple steps behind at this point. We got Jalen Rager, Darius Davis, Brendan Rice, who I'm still hoping for, son of Jerry Rice, the Hall of Famer, great Jerry Rice. I mean, he's been non-existent so far in camp once again. Des Fitzpatrick trying to keep his NFL career alive. And then Jalen Johnson, Jackson, Campbell, all guys, filling out the depth purposes for this wide receiver room for these Chargers. But, I mean, we got KLS, Lambert-Smith. He is one of these guys, very intriguing. I knew about him for a long time. I just wasn't expecting a whole heck of a lot. After what he's been doing so far, like I said, I had to dive in a little bit tighter to say, was I wrong? Did I miss something? And I think I did. I think there is certain aspects to his game that's going to translate so well in the NFL, especially with this Chargers squad, that he's going to be showcasing it quite a bit on a regular basis with high levels of consistency. And I do potentially love what these Chargers are doing on the offensive side. But let's talk about measurables. As always for KLS, 6'1", 190 pounds. He is 23 years of age, played in a whopping 60 contests in his collegiate career, caught himself 176 receptions for 27.02, 15.4 on the average, and a nice 19 TD scores for a KLS. Statistically speaking, it's not terrible, but it is a lot of contests. You would have liked to have seen those stat lines inflate, but there is a reason for that. Let's talk those pros. He is that Penn State transfer to Auburn back in 2024. And that's part of the problem, man. We know Penn State doesn't necessarily have the top-end, elite-level talented quarterbacks to support wide receivers on the regular, and that's kind of why he's like, hey, I'm done with this. I got to go somewhere else to at least inflate my stats, which he did. Best season he had in his collegiate career was here with Auburn. 50 receptions, 981, 19.6 on the average, and 8 touchdowns. They understand how to utilize him that much more. Put him down the field. Be that field stretcher. Let him, with the ball in his hand, let him, produce that yak upside, which is also very strong for a KLS. So I think the transfer to Auburn definitely did uplift his stock, where he did get drafted in that 5th round. He could have fell out of the draft had he stayed with a Penn State. Just was not working in his, benefit at that point. He's got great speed, great wheels, man. Clocked 4.37 on the 40 time. Definitely in that upper elite tier of speedy wide receivers. He does have those long strides and a deceptive tempo. This is a great aspect for a wide receiver, especially what he does exceptionally well, and I will get to that in a second. First step is near dirty category, and when I say dirty, it means great, because it is so good off the line. He understands how to manipulate his defensive backs. Is he that, great juke and shaker? No, but it's a very precise first step off the line, which does help and aid his ability when he does get down the field. Route breaks are good. Are they great at this point? I'm going to say no, but they are good. The comeback route is very strong. Slant is very good, and the deep ball is very strong for a KLS. Everything else will touch in the cons when it comes to his route tree, but right now the breaks, I'm going to say they're good, and he definitely just got to keep improving in that aspect. But the comeback route, getting the ball in his hand, the slant routes, like I said, and doing the, on the sideline, out in 9 routes, even on the 7s, you see him a lot of times. He is able to make a lot of plays in that respect. I do like his breaks, but there is improvements that can be had. These are the best aspects of a KLS, and there is bar none, no question. He is a pure separating technique magician. It is superb, man. This guy can separate in a phone booth. He creates and understands how to generate that separation, generates space, extremely consistently for his quarterback. We've seen it through camp. You go back, turn on the Auburn tape. He did it so consistently over the entire season in 2024, and he is translating this extremely well here in the pros as well. Early on, we will see when he does go up against, top-end starters in the NFL. So far, so good, and it is a very good sign right now that he can be one of these great separators in the NFL to get open for his quarterback. Hands are nice. I don't have a problem with his hands whatsoever, but the best part about it, he exhibits those late hands. If y'all don't know what that is, he does not give the tell where the ball is coming, where guys extend their hands too early when the ball is coming over the shoulder, especially when he is going deep. Just those late hands. He's running, looking for the ball, and then all of a sudden he just extends his arms just enough, and the defensive back doesn't know where the ball is, and he's able to make the play. With this added with his extreme separation ability, these are 2 huge aspects which could make him very successful in the NFL. We saw it in that Hall of Fame game as well. Very late hands on those passes that came his way, and again, he comes down with the football. Double pluses for me on the late hands. It's such a great trait for a wide receiver to have, to disguise where the ball's coming from, and then he can make the play, especially when he does have a good yard or 2 or step or 2 on the defensive back. It's just absolutely great. The defensive back will never put up his hand to knock the football down, because they're always reading the hands of the wide receiver, and late hands for a KLS, absolutely superb in nature, man. Possesses sound body control and body balance, whether he is, jumping, high pointing the ball. Has got good hops in that sense as well. Have seen the toe drag swag, have seen the body contorting and adjusting and altering when he is trying to make those grabs over the middle as well. While going over the middle is not necessarily the best part of his game at this point. I do want to see a lot of things, rounded out in that aspect, but when you put him in space, one-on-one, he's able to generate that separation, able to come down with the football with good body control and balance. Definitely good aspects for me. Like I said, yak upside is there. He is very instinctive. On the ad-lib adjustments, when a play is broken down, he's able to maneuver and navigate away from his defensive back, create open windows of opportunity for his quarterback. He does this very well, as I'm going to say relatively well, not very well. He does this relatively well at this point of his career. NFL Bloodlines Cam Chancellor is his uncle, so you got to always say NFL players, they come from somewhere, and definitely good bloodlines with a Cam Chancellor. But for some cons, he's got him as well, man. Frame looks lean and lanky. He could stand to add some weight as well. 190 pounds. You want to see him in that 200, I'd be totally good with that. 4.37 wheels on a 206'1" wide receiver would absolutely aid in a lot of ability for a guy who does look a little bit lanky on the field. And I mean, it goes to the point of saying, why is that a problem for me on KLS? He can be an easy tackle. He doesn't necessarily fold like a piece of paper, but he is tackled when he is lined up. I mean, he's not going to, break many tackles, even shoestring appeal. He just goes down. There's twofold to this as well. While I do want to see him extend the play, some of these wide receivers understand when to fight for another day, and that's not necessarily a con. That's necessarily a pro for this as well. But in this sense, it almost looks like he's trying to break free. We've seen him try to, utilize his legs to gain more extra yards. It's just not a great deal. You can't just be an easy tackle. This play strength definitely average to slightly above average at this point. Would like to see that increase as he does get a meal plan and in the NFL weight room. Full route tree definitely needs development. Like I said, while I do like some of his route breaks on the routes that he does work very well, you want to round out every aspect. I mean, he's not overly versatile as well, and that's kind of a problem. I mean, it can be a concern where he is developing his aspects of his game, but he is basically on one side of the field, can be a tell on the routes that he's able to run based on the scheme, and that is a concern for me just a little bit. You want to see him a little bit more versatile, but with that separation, it's going to mask a lot of the inadequacies in his game, especially with the fact that he can run a 4.37, will mask so many issues that he could have in his game playing against starters as well, man. Press, I mean, it could be an issue. Here's an aspect as well. While he isn't necessarily, great in strength at this point, he's a good run blocker, and I didn't put that in the pros. I absolutely should. He is a very good run blocker, very active run blocker, and I mean, just press could be a concern. We've seen it with the guys with the punch right to the chest plate. He does knock him off balance just a little bit, so you do want to see that strength aspect of his game improve, but he could be utilized schematically wise where he is opening up lanes of opportunity for other wide receivers as well, and he will get open himself with that great separation. But for grading purposes, KLS for a 5th round wide receiver definitely does impress, and it is showcasing so far in training camp. Had to go back and do another deep dive on the man because, he has been very impressive, and I don't want to sit here and cuss the man for the things he does well. 70.3% is the grade score for a KeAndre Lambert-Smith. I'm a fan. I'm not a great fan. I'm just expecting now, as he keeps himself, heightening the bar of opportunity, I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled. He could be one of these guys later on down for fantasy football purposes that we do take him off the waiver wire as he does, increase the volume in his game. But the only concern we have seen, Chargers could be in line to re-sign Keenan Allen, bring him back for a reunion as well. That would take a lot of bread out of the mouth for a Lambert-Smith. But this does also suggest that Quentin Johnston definitely is falling out of favor with all of his drops, but 70.3 definitely does have some upside, does have some great appeal, but he is under the threshold for a lot of these other wide receivers that I've done so far this offseason. So there you have it. That is newest Los Angeles Charger. KLS is the nickname. KeAndre Lambert-Smith got a lot of potential, got a lot of upside. Are we ever going to be, gushing over the talents? Maybe not yet, but it could be coming. We have seen late round wide receivers make a big name for themselves in the NFL and have very long careers. He could definitely be one of them, and I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing so far here this offseason for a KLS. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget that like button and that subscribe button. Jump in those comments. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Charger fans, you guys got first view of the man. How you guys thinking his game's going? I'm a big fan right now. I like what I see, and I do hope that it does continue to develop in the right way. But nevertheless, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments like I said, and we'll see you next time. I am